So once again, good evening all of you. This is your course instructor, Khushwant Fatnani. Let us start off with the session where we are discussing the assignment solutions. So this is assignment number 11. Okay. All right. Let's start. So let us take for the first question, Karuna. Right. Karuna, have a look, read the question and try solving it. Yes. Tell me. Read the question for all of us. Yes, Karuna.
One second, sir. Yeah.
Karuna,
The
can you be a little louder because I think you're away from the microphone. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The question is x is equal to 20 sine phi t plus 0.5. We have to find the initial phase.
Okay. So we are being told that value of x, where x is displacement. What is x, Karuna? X is displacement. Okay. That is given as 20 into sine times of 5t plus 0.5.
Zero.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, tell me
Yes.
what are different elements of this equation. Name each one of them. Yes, first of all, classify them.
Uh,
This is
X is displacement.
okay, good, good.
20 is amplitude.
20 is amplitude. Okay, A. All right. What is this?
That's omega. Omega.
Omega. What does omega mean?
Angular frequency.
Very good. Omega is angular frequency. Tell the formula. We have read three formulas for it this morning. One is K pi,
For angular yeah.
one is 2 pi,
2 pi by f.
2 pi f, not
2
by,
pi
2
f.
pi f, right?
Yeah.
And 2 pi by
Uh,
t.
T.
Correct. Okay. What is this?
That's phase constant phi.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Tell me now, what is the question asking? Substitute it. Let me know the answer. What is the
Uh,
initial phase in the question?
so
First
zero
of all,
point 0.5.
first of all, what is phase? What is phase in the question? Tell me.
0.5.
No, phase is, I've told. Try recalling. Phase is anything which comes under sine. This entire thing is called as phase. What is it called, Karuna? Phase.
5. Yeah, phase.
So phase is 5t. Tell me, what is phase? 5t plus zero
It,
point 0.5. This entire term is called as phase. Clear?
yes, sir.
Now, what is initial phase?
If t is equal to 0,
So,
then it's initial phase.
yes. Now, what is initial phase? Tell us.
0.5.
Very good. Very good. Excellent, bacha. Okay. Now, class, in order to understand the concept which will be used in the second question, I am writing down here something. Okay. Just have a look. So, we have read something this morning that in a simple harmonic motion, what happens is we have a particle. Let's say it starts its oscillation from the center. Sorry, Atul, can you tell me what should be the equation of a particle, displacement of the particle, displacement equation of a particle which starts its SHM from x is equal to 0? Yes. Yes, Atul. Can you try and tell me the equation for a particle which starts its equation or x or this entire SHM from mean position? X is equal to,
Uh, the shall I read this question or what?
no. What is the equation? Equation is A sine omega t, right? Equation of a particle which begins its oscillation from the mean position, right?
Yes, sir. X equals to a sine omega t plus 5 0 at the mean position 5 0.
Correct? Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
now you need to find out how much time, after how much time will the particle reach at a by 2, after how much time will it reach a, right? You need to find that out. How will you do it? Tell me.
We will substitute x equals to a by 2 in this equation.
Excellent. So let's substitute x is equal to a in this equation to find out what is the time when the particle reaches the point x is equal to a by 2. Okay. So we will get sine omega t is equal to half. When does sine become half? At what value of theta?
Oh, 30, 30, 30.
30. That is 5 by
5 by 6.
6, right? So we will have,
Yes, sir.
we can write this time. And what is omega? What is omega from here? Tell us. Omega is equal to, in terms of time period, 2 pi by
T.
t. So 2 pi by t into t is equal to pi by 6, right? So
Yes,
pi
sir.
and pi gets cancelled, right? Therefore, we have small t is equal to t by 12, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does this mean? It means that the particle will reach this position a by 2 in the time t by 12. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think this is what was asked in the question, right? If the particle is starting from the equilibrium position, how much time will it reach half of the amplitude? How much is it coming? T by 12, right?
T by 2.
T by 12.
Yes, sir.
Great. Now we'll do one more thing. We'll do a very beautiful concept which you all should make sure that this will be there in your formula copy or whatever you wish to take. This is something so beautiful that it is going to help you throughout, right? Throughout, a very important concept. So the time taken to go from origin to the point a, a by 2 is equal to t by 12. Okay. Now I will take one more student. Let's take Karuna once again. All right. Karuna, can you tell me how do I find out what is the time when the particle has reached the point x is equal to a? How do you calculate this time? Yes.
So we substitute x as a and then find.
Let's do it. X as a is equal to a sine omega t, right? Therefore, this gives me sine omega
1.
t is equal to 1. Correct? Now,
Yeah.
what does this
So omega
omega t is equal to?
pi by 2.
Very good, very good. So we have
2 pi by
2
t
pi
is
by
equal
yes, yes, tell me.
pi by 2.
Very good, very good. So we have small t is given as t by 4.
T by 4.
Correct? What does
Yes, sir.
it mean, Karuna? Which time is t by 4? This one or the entire time?
The entire time.
Because the particle is starting from here and we are finding out how much time does it take to reach the extreme position. That time comes out to be t by 4. So this entire time, class, please note, this entire time comes out to be t by 4. Can we find out by any chance the time taken by the particle to reach from x is equal to a by 2 to x is equal to a? Can we find this out? Yes, Karuna, tell me. Can we do it from the given data? Of course, this is t by 12, while the entire time is t by 4. Subtract it. How much do we get? Yes, tell me, Karuna. Hello, Karuna, can you hear me? Let's take Anukriti this time. Anukriti, let me know what should be the answer. Yes. T by 4, T by 12, or T by 4 minus T by 12. Yes. T by 6, right?
I don't understand how we got that.
Which one? Tell me.
The t by 12 minus.
See. Yeah, just a second. So just have a look here. So we have this entire line. till where did you get? So did you get that this point is x is equal to 0, this point is x is equal to a, right? And here we have
Yes,
x
sir.
is equal to minus a. Did you get this, Anukriti?
Yes, sir, I got it, sir.
Okay. Then tell me, did you get how did we find out this equation in the morning? X is
Yes,
equal
sir, I
to a
understood the
sine
morning
theta
part,
t.
sir.
This is the equation of a particle which has started,
From omega t,
yes, that which has started
from the main
from
position.
t is equal to 0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at t is equal to 0, the particle has started its uh, motion from equilibrium position. Now, we found out that when the particle reaches this point, right? How much time does it take in reaching here? What did we find it out? See here,
T by 2.
t by 12. See here, t by 12.
Okay. 12.
So t by 12 is the time which the particle takes to reach the point x is equal to a by 2 from origin, right? Then we found out what is the time taken by the particle to reach the extreme positions by doing a substitution instead of. So this was the principal equation. Understand this, Anukriti. This was the principal equation. In this equation, we substituted. Here, first we substituted x is equal to a by 2. Then we substituted x is equal to a. And then we found out the value of time. So initially, we got t by 12 in the first case. That is time taken by the particle to reach from equilibrium to x is equal to a by 2 is t by 12. Then we found out that what does time come out to be when we are taking x is equal to a. So that came out to be t by 4, right? So this time is t by 4. So on an absolute basis, how much should be the time which the particle should take to travel from here x is equal to a by 2 to x is equal to a? That will be, tell me how much? T by 4 minus
T
t
by
by
4 minus T by 12.
Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Pakka?
yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we have t by 4 minus t by 12, right? See, it gives me, so this gives me 3 by 12, right? Minus 3 by 12 minus 1 by 12, which is 2 by 12 or t by 6, right? 1 t by 6, right? Now, same will be the time which will be taken by the particle when it comes back, right? So it goes, so see, this is what is happening, right? You all should understand this, that how does one oscillation take place? So a particle starts from the origin, goes to the point x is equal to, from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to a, right, by 2. Then from x is equal to a by 2, it goes to another point x is equal to a, right? And respectively, it takes different times. Why is it taking different time, by the way? Distance is same. Then I should say it should take same time. Why is it taking different time? Okay, Atul, can you explain this mystery? What is the mystery behind different times and the same distance? Here also distance was a by 2. Here also distance is a by 2, but it's taking different time, Atul. Tell us why. There should be something behind this logic.
I think it's due to the acceleration,
What is
deceleration.
Yes. Try thinking what is happening. Class, as the particle is moving, let's say the first one, as the particle is moving from origin towards the extreme position, try recalling what is happening. So today morning we learned that when the particle is traveling from the equilibrium position, where its velocity is maximum, its velocity tends to become 0. Its velocity tends to become 0. So that means the velocity of the particle is coming down, and therefore in order to travel the same distance later, it will take more time, whereas initially it should take less time to travel the same distance. I will repeat. Later, that is, the particle is taking more time. T by 6 is greater, right? T by 6 is greater than T by 12. Whereas this distance is same. Distance between x is equal to, distance between x is equal to 0 and x is equal to a by 2 and x is equal to a by 2 to a is same. It's a by 2 and a by 2 distance. But the time taken for the later half of the journey is more. Why? Simple, because speed is decreasing. So if any body is slowing down, it's a very obvious fact that it will take more time, right? If its speed is decreasing to cover the later half of distance. Should I repeat us? I am saying that as the velocity of the body is decreasing, as the velocity or speed of the body is decreasing, therefore it takes more time to travel same distance later. Am I clear, class? And the reverse will happen when the particle is traveling from x is equal to a to x is equal to a by 2 and then x is equal to 0. Why? Why reverse will happen? Because as the particle was going from left to right, right? From left to right, that is from this red point, right? So let's say we'll name these points. Let's name this as A, this as B, this as C. So as the particle goes from A to B, right, its velocity was high. Now its velocity is decreasing. So from B to C, its velocity is even lesser. So it took more time to travel the distance B to C. This distance was more. So this time was more, right? This time was less. And we calculated that time to be T by 12 and T by 6, right? And what was happening to the particle? It was decelerating. It was decelerating. But what happens when the particle is going back? See here, class. See here. Here, at the extreme position, point C, its velocity had become zero, right? And now when the particle is coming back, its speed again starts rising. See, its speed is increasing and becoming maximum at the mean position. So at the mean position, the velocity of the particle becomes maximum. And since the velocity is becoming maximum, the particle is undergoing acceleration. So here the speed is less in the first half. Here in the return journey, the speed is less, whereas here the speed becomes higher, right? So we will have time taken initially is more, but later as the speed is becoming higher, time taken is less. Of course, we know when something is moving fast, it will take less time to cover the same distance, correct? And by symmetry, class, by symmetry, if I mark a distance, x is equal to minus a by 2, or a position, better to say a position, then I will have this time taken again by symmetry. How much should it be? Atul, tell me, how much should this time be? It should be by symmetry T by 12.
T by 12.
Correct. What should be the time taken from?
And this should be also T by 6.
Very good. Very good. Class, this knowledge which I've just given you now, the knowledge about time taken, this should be feeded in your mind like your mathematical tables. You know, when we are in class 8th, 9th, we start knowing 7th, 8th, we are so thorough with the table, right? I say you 18 5s are, and you should be able to give the answer 90. I say you 7 8s are 56, right? So with that
Audible now.
sorry.
Sir, there was some network issue, sir.
Okay. No. I was just saying that you all should be able to remember this time period understanding. How much time does the particle take? It is a very simple thing. It's a very simple fact which I just shared with all of you. But you all should be able to remember this as and when required, right? So you should be able to remember this always and produce it whenever asked. Am I clear, Atul? Now, this should be remembered very thoroughly. That's the point.
Sir, I got disconnected, sir. That's
Okay, okay. No,
I was unable to hear you.
no. I'm not saying it to you, Atul. I'm saying it to everyone in the class that all of you need to remember this very, very properly. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
This was not for you. This was in general. I'm telling this concept is very, very important. So all of you have to remember this very well. Okay. All right. Now, class, let's see the concept of phase. How is the phase changing at each point, right? So let's say this is the again line along which simple harmonic motion is taking place. X is equal to 0, x is equal to a by 2, x is equal to a, right? Here x is equal to minus a by 2 and x is equal to minus a. Now let's say again the particle is starting its motion over here from here, right? So Karuna, can you tell me if what should be the equation of the particle first of all, which starts its motion from origin or the equilibrium position? Yes, Karuna.
So x is equal to a sine omega t.
Very good. Now tell me what is the phase in this case? What is the value of phase?
So when it's at x is equal to 0, is
Just,
s is 0.
just that. Just at any time t, what is the phase from this equation?
0.
No. Phase,
Acha,
anything,
omega t.
I'll repeat, class, I'll repeat. Anything which comes after sine is phase. Please remember this, right? Many students have this confusion. They take this value as phase. This is phase constant. This is phase constant. Whereas this entire term is called as phase. This entire term is called as phase. Right. Karuna, will you be able to remember this from now? This
Yes,
entire term is phase. Okay, what is the phase in the question? Yes.
Omega t.
Omega t. Excellent. Excellent, bacha. Now, so Atul, you were very good in this entire question, right? Excellent for that too. Okay. Now, if the phase is omega t, can we find out the value of phase or omega t at these different times now? Can we do it? Because we
Yes,
know
sir.
how much time does it take, right? Here, the time it took, it was at t is equal to 0, right? And here the time was t by 12, correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Here the
Yes, sir.
time is t by 4, right? So can we find out what is the phase at all of these points? So here the phase should be at t is equal to 0. The phase should be, substitute t is equal to 0 over here. Tell me how much should it be?
0.
0. Very good. So when the particle is starting its motion, at that point, the phase will be 0. Very good. Okay. Now, what should be the phase over here? Substitute.
Omega t by 12.
Okay. Substitute the value of omega in terms of t by 12. Tell me.
2 pi by t into t by 12.
Do it. How much do you get? Tell me.
And omega pi by 6.
I think you
So
have done some mistake. Do it again. See, instead of, I am trying to ask you like that, instead of omega t, find out what is the value of omega t at t is equal to t by 12. So always omega is t by 2 pi by t, right? And what is the value of time here? T by
12.
Right? So this t and t gets cancelled,
Pi
right?
by 6.
We get pi by 6. Very good. Very good. And what is pi by 6? 30 degree.
30 degree.
So what does this mean? So when the particle goes from this center position, right? From center position to x is equal to a by 2. So the phase increases by how much amount?
30 degree.
Initially it was 0 degree, then it became 30 degree. Okay. Tell me what should be the phase over here? What should be the value of omega t for this point?
2 pi by t into t by 4.
Do it.
That will be pi by 2. 90 degree.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pi by 2. So 90 degree. So if the phase becomes 90 degree, I'll write it here. Okay. So we have the phase becoming 90 degree. Okay. Phase has become 90 degree. Now, by how much has the phase increased in the first half, Karuna, over here?
30 degree.
How about the second half of the journey?
60 degree, sir.
Very good. So this will remain a very repetitive phenomena. That means the phase will keep on increasing as the particle is traversing, right? So here, tell me one thing. How much time should the particle take when it comes back here? How much time should it take? So this time was t by 12, right? Add more t by 6 to it and you will get t by 4, right? So while coming back, again, how much time should it take? T by
T by 6.
6, right? Add t by 6 to t by 4. Tell me how much do you get?
So I didn't get your question.
I'm saying find out what is the time when the particle is coming back. So this is how particle goes. It went here, right? It went here. So I'll draw it with blue. See, the particle went here, right? Its phase increased to 30 degree. Then again, it reached the extreme position. There, its phase became 90 degree. Now the particle is coming back. So I'm saying on its return journey, what is the time now? So here the time was 0, then t by 12, then t by 4. Now returning back also, the particle will take more t by 6 time, right? So add t by 6 to t by 4. Tell me what is the time. Yeah. Is the question clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
So it will be 3t by 12.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Be confirmed.
Yes, sir.
Let's try this out. So I'm saying
5t by 12.
I'm saying that we want to find what is the time when the particle is coming back and has reached the x is equal to a by 2 position for the second time, right? So we have t by 4 plus t by 6, which gives me, let's say 24 here. We have 6 plus 4, that is 10 by 24t or 5 by 12t. Is this the answer, Karuna?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we understood that as the particle is coming back, it already the time had become t by 4. You add t by 6 more to it because in traveling this distance, because of symmetry, again the particle will take t by 6 times. The weight had taken t by 6 to go front, it will take t by 6 to come backwards from x is equal to a to x is equal to a by 2. And now the new time, the time at which it will reach here, that is 5t by 12. Correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that means here we can again find out phase, right? So rather than doing that very complicated calculations, we have a simpler way out. The simpler way out is that we will keep on increasing the phase in this pattern while going is this much distance initially 30 degree increase, then 60 degree increase, then coming back again 60 degree increase, then again 30 degree increase, then again 30 degree increase, then again 60 degree increase, then again 60 degree increase, then again 30 degree increase. Is the point clear?
Yes, sir.
I am saying that we will take the difference, right? And then keep on adding that difference in order to find out the new phase as the particle is reaching different positions. So the concept will become even clearer as we do this. Okay. So now as the particle is coming back, Karuna, as the particle is coming back, tell me what should be the value of phase as the particle has again reached back the position x is equal to a by 2. Yes, Karuna, tell me.
So it will be 90 plus 60, which is
Yes.
equal to 150 degree.
Degree. Excellent. Class, so this is what Karuna is trying to do. For this much, we have assumed that the phase increase will always be by 30 degree. For this much, the phase change will always be by 60 degree. And because of symmetry, the same thing will happen on the other side also. The phase is changing, class. Phase. Remember, this phase is nothing but an angle. So you can also call this as phase angle. Class, remember, what is phase? Phase is anything that comes after sine or cos. That entire expression is called phase or phase angle, right? And these are the changes. These are the changes happening in the phase angles, while these are the values of phase angles, which I'm writing over here. These are the values of phase angles, right? Phase angles. So just have a look what we are doing. We are writing the phase angles, all right? So here, see here, class. The phase increased from 0 to 30. Then it changed by 60, became 90. Again, while coming back, it will again change by 60. So increase the phase by 60. Right. Karuna, tell me, how much is 90 plus 60 equal to?
150 degree.
150 degree. Right. Excellent. Excellent. Now again add 30 degree to it. Tell me, how much do you get?
180 degree.
Very good. So now when the particle has again reached back its equilibrium position, the phase has become 180 degree. Again 30 degree added. Very good. Now tell me, as the particle is going from the equilibrium position to the point x is equal to minus a by 2, what should be the change in phase now? Karuna, change in phase. Change in phase. Again 30 degree, right? Now add
Yes, sir.
30 degree to 180. How much do you get? Yes, tell me.
210.
210. Very good. Very good. Now, as the particle goes from x is equal to minus a by 2 to x is equal to minus a, what should again be the change in phase, Karuna?
270, sir.
Change in phase should be by 60 degree,
Plus, yeah, it will be 270.
right? So I'm talking about change, right? So these are the changes. Class, mark the number which I'm writing below the arrow, right? That number is representing the change in phase. So initially the change took place by 30, then by 60, then by 60 again, then by 30. How am I doing this? You may wish to ask that, sir, how are you doing this? It's not written anywhere. I'll say that, bacha, what is happening is we are using the concept of symmetry. The way we understood here, it was t by 12, t by 6. Then again in coming back, we took this as t by 6, t by 12, t by 12, t by 6, t by 6, t by 12, right? So we will use the same condition in phase also. Whenever the particle is locomoting between x is equal to 0 to a by 2 or a by 2 to 0, x is equal to 0 to minus a by 2 or minus a by 2 to 0, always the phase change will be by 30 degree. Whenever the particle is traversing between x is equal to a by 2 and x is equal to a to a by 2, again phase change should be by 60 degree. See here, the phase change should be again by 60 degree when the particle goes from minus a by 2 to minus a, or again it should be by 60 degree as the particle is going from minus a to minus a by 2. So this change will remain same in these intervals. This is a fact, right? This is a fact which we have developed by deriving, right? Okay. So now here again the phase change was by 60. Here it should again 30 and then again by 60. So how much is 210 plus 60, Karuna?
270, sir.
70. Now what has happened? Where has the particle reached? What is the position?
X is equal to minus a.
Very good. Now the particle has reached the point x is equal to minus a. And what is the phase when it has reached x is equal to minus a?
270.
270. Very good. Now the particle is coming back. So the particle has now reached from x is equal to minus a to x is equal to minus a by 2, right? Minus a by 2. So tell me, Karuna, how much should be the change of phase again? Change. Tell me how much should it change by again? 60 degree, right?
60 degree.
Okay, 270 plus 60. How much should it give you?
330.
330. Very good. 330. Now, again, the phase should change by how much amount?
30 degree.
30 degree. Very good. So the now phase should change by 30 degree. How much should it become when it comes back to its initial position?
360.
360. Very good. And 360 degree is nothing but same as 0 degree, because we know that in sine, if you keep on adding phases, so let's say the phase was phi initially, right? Then you added 30 degree to it. Then you added more 60 degree to it. Then you added more 60 degree to it, more 30 degree to it. So on, you kept on doing until you finally added in all total addition, cumulative addition became 360 degree. So we all know that whenever you add 360 to any sine or cos, it again becomes the same value, because 2 pi is the time period. And we have just learned in today morning's class that whenever time period is added, to a function, it becomes the same as initial value. So sine phi will be equal to sine 360 plus phi, or sine alpha will be equal to sine 360 plus alpha. So again, the phase becomes 0 or 360 degree. Is this point clear to you, Karuna, that how is the phase changing? How is the phase changing? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Thoroughly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'll repeat what we have done. In this explanation class, I have tried to make you all understand that the time taken by a particle as it is locomoting between different points on the axis of or on this axis where simple harmonic motion is taking place, at different points the amount of time taken to travel the same distance may be different. Why? Because the velocity is continuously changing. It is either increasing or decreasing, right? Now, how do we know that? Of course, we know that in a simple harmonic motion, F is equal to minus kx, right? So if the x value is positive, then in that case, A will be negative because force will be negative, right? And so on and so forth, right? I hope you all are clear with what we have just read. Therefore, the phase will keep changing. Therefore, the phase will keep changing in this pattern which we have just talked about. Initially, the phase will be equal to 0. From that, it will become 30, 90, 150, 180, 210, 270, 330, and then 360 again. Right? This is how the phase is changing as the particle is oscillating, or the particle is completing one oscillation. So class, this was called as one oscillation. So a particle starting from the origin, going to one mean position, or sorry, going to one extreme position. See here, I'll draw this for all of you. The particle started from the mean position, went to the extreme, right? There its velocity became 0. Then it started coming back here. Again, its velocity became maximum. Then again, it goes back and then comes. This is called as one oscillation. This is called as one oscillation. Write it down, class. Write it down in your note. What is one oscillation? Full circle, full one distance traveled, right? This is called as oscillation, one oscillation. Is this clear to every one of you? If yes, please raise your hand. Yes, class. If this entire concept is clear to all of you, please raise your hand. Yes, class. Okay, excellent, excellent, bachalo. Now, let us do the questions henceforth. Okay, so we have next question. Can one of you identify? Okay, so let us take Atul. Atul, just have a look at the question, right? Try seeing and let me know if you're able to crack it. Yes. Read the question, Atul.
Y equals to 4 cos 2 by 6 pi minus omega t by 3. Is it is asked that is this motion in SHM or not? If yes, find its time period, frequency, angular frequency, amplitude, phase constant.
Okay. So first question, how do you find out if this motion is SHM or not? Can you try to guess?
Yes, sir. We will
Yes.
compare it to the equation of SHM, sir.
Yes, yes,
Y
yes.
equals to a cos omega t plus phi.
Yeah, y is equal to a cos omega t plus phi or sin omega t plus phi. Any of the two equations. Absolutely correct. So, do we know this, Atul, that cos of theta is equal to cos of minus theta? Do we know this? Right?
Yes, sir.
So, this equation can also be written as y is equal to 4 cos of omega
Omega t by
by 3 minus pi by 3. Can we write it this way?
yes, sir.
Right. Now, tell us the other things which are asked in the question. So, yeah, tell me.
To find time period.
We need to find out time period. How will you find out? We can write
Omega
omega
equals to
by
3
3
by
is equal to whatever omega. So, this is the value of omega for the question, right? This is the actual
yes.
value of omega. Let us take this as omega dash. Can we take it? Right?
Yes, sir.
This will be equal to 2 pi by time period, correct? Let us take time period as t dash. Let us take time period as t dash, right?
T dash.
So now, how will we find time period? Omega by 3 is equal to 2 pi by t dash, correct? So t dash should be equal to 6 pi upon omega. Is it
Yes, sir.
correct, Rahul? Atul, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, next one. What do we need to find out next?
Now we need to find out the frequency.
What is frequency equal to? How have we learned
One-
frequency? Yeah,
1 by t.
frequency f is equal to 1 by t. Very good. So we have this as omega by
Omega.
pi. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Great. Now, let us take the next part. What is
Angular frequency.
angular frequency? So we have omega is equal to, or omega dash basically, angular frequency, right? That we have already found out, omega by 3,
Omega.
correct? From the given question.
Yes.
Okay. So
And amplitude. Then amplitude.
amplitude. What is the amplitude?
4.
4. Very good. Fifth one. Tell me
Phase
what is the phase,
constant, minus pi by 3.
phase constant is minus pi by 3. Very good. Very good. Okay. Does the question end here or is there more to it?
No, sir. No.
Ends here, right? Okay. Can you also take the next question, Atul? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can we take the next question? Can you please read it? Yeah.
Find particle velocity at x equals to a by 4, a by 2, and a by 3. If a is the amplitude and t is the time period.
Okay. Is the data enough or is something missing? See, do we have this formula? We have this formula between velocity and displacement, right? V is equal to omega times of under root a square minus x square, right? Correct? So,
Yes, sir.
how can we go ahead with this? Tell me. How can we go ahead with this? We need to find out what is the velocity at x is equal to a by 4. First of all, how will you go about it? Tell me. Yeah. V is equal to omega
V equals to a
times of
square minus
a square minus a by
a
4
square
whole
by
square.
16.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this will give me a square minus a square by 16, right? That is
Yes,
omega times of
under root
Okay.
15 by
under root
16.
15 by 4. Correct?
Yes, sir. 15 by 4.
Right? Now, this is the value of velocity. But am I given omega in the question, Atul? Is omega given
No,
in the question? No. What is given? What is given?
Time period.
Time period.
Time
Can we write omega in terms of time period?
2 pi by 2.
Very good. So we have 2 pi by t into a times of 15 by 4. Class, this is also something many questions try to confuse you with, right? They will give you some data, right? And they will ask you something else, right? So you need to basically understand how to establish relationship between different variables, which is already established, just that you need to recall it, right? So see here, 2 and 4 will get cancelled. So we'll have a by t times of under root 15 into pi by 2, right? This should be the
Yes,
answer,
sir.
correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
The other questions will be then easy, right? A by 4, A by 2, A by 3. At all of these positions, that is, at x is equal to A by 2, x is equal to A by 3. Now we can easily find out what is the velocity, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what is the difference between v equals to a omega and this formula?
Can you repeat? Yes.
What is the difference between the formula the v equals to a omega and this formula v equals to omega into a square under root a square minus x square?
Okay, so this is how it goes. So what we need to know and understand is that there are different relations in SHM. First relation is x is equal to a sine omega t. This is telling me a relationship between displacement and time, right? It tells me that displacement varies harmonically with time, something like this, right? Now, when I write v is equal to a omega cos omega t from the above expression, I differentiate and write this. I get that velocity is varying in a cos fashion, right? Where this highest amplitude is a omega. Here the amplitude was a, right? This is how velocity is varying with time. So if you will see in this question, what is the maximum value of velocity? What is the maximum value of velocity? A omega, right? Now, similarly, when you differentiate it again, you will get acceleration. This acceleration will be minus a omega square sine omega t. And from this equation, when you substitute, you will get a is equal to minus omega square x, right? Is this the equation that we had read this morning, right?
Yes, yes,
This
sir.
is how the equation comes. This is how it comes, right? So this is how we get the relationship between velocity, relationship between x and time, relationship between velocity and time, relationship between acceleration and time. But as soon as we are writing that a is equal to minus omega square x, we are actually giving the relationship between acceleration and displacement, right? So that relation is a is equal to minus omega square x. So the way you have a relationship between a and x, you also have a relationship between v and x, and that is given by v is equal to omega times of under root a square minus x square. So basically, this expression which I have written, a is equal to omega times of under root a square minus x square, that is telling me a general relation between velocity and displacement. The same way as this expression is telling me a general relation between acceleration and displacement. And when you substitute x is equal to 0 here, you will get v is equal to omega times of under root a square, which is nothing but a omega. So a omega is the value of velocity of the particle when it is at the origin. When the particle is at origin, its velocity is equal to a omega. So the velocity is not constant. At different distances, the particle is assuming different velocities. The particle is assuming different velocities at different displacements from the mean position, right? And those values of displacements or those values of velocity for different displacements can be obtained using this given equation. Is it now clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Right. So similarly, the way you had relationship between a and t, you can also write f is equal to ma, right? So you can write f is equal to minus ma omega square sine of t, right? Or sine of omega t, correct?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we can also write here a f is equal to ma, therefore f is equal to minus m omega square x, and that is nothing but f is equal to minus k, right?
minus k.
So this is how what we have done. This is how we have established relationship between displacement and time, between velocity and time, between acceleration and time, between force and time, right? And similarly, we have relationship here between velocity and x, between acceleration and x, between force and x, right?
Yes,
Are we
sir.
now clear on this, Atul?
Yes. Yes.
So answering your question once again, the difference between V is equal to A omega and this expression is that V is equal to A omega is the specific value of the velocity of the particle when the particle is at mean position. Whereas this expression is the general expression for calculating velocity at any given position from the mean or equilibrium, right?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear now, Atul, on this?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So the next part of this is question number 5. So question number 5, Atul, can you read the question? Yes.
Uh, there's a graph given, and
There
we
is a
need to
graph,
find the distance.
right? So in the
I need to
question,
find distance at any time t.
yeah. So in the question, we have a graph given. It is a, what kind of graph does it look like? Sine or cos?
Sine graph.
Sine. Very good. How did you differentiate, by the way? Tell the class. How do you differentiate between a sine and cos graph? Both looks like alike, right? Or is there some difference?
Because the sine 0 is 0 and it is starting from
Mhm.
0.
So class, have a look. This is a peculiar graph of sine. It starts from here. The starting point is x is equal to 0. The value of x at t is equal to 0 is 0. Whereas the cos graph tends to start from maximum position. That is, never a cos graph will start from 0. It will always start from maximum. So that is how you differentiate. So here the graph is starting from 0. Therefore, it is a sine graph, right? So it is saying that the particle is in SHM, right? And we are being given the value of displacement with time in this pattern. What is the amplitude? The maximum displacement, x max, right? What is the x max given in the question, Atul?
5.
X
5.
max is given as, x max value is given as 5. Okay. So let's say this unit is meter, this unit is seconds, right? Now, what next? Here we have 0, here we have 2, this is 4, I think, yeah, 4, and this is 6. We are given only this much graph. Okay. Now, what you will do after this, Atul? We'll set the equation first. What's the equation? X is equal to A sine
A
omega
omega
t
t
plus phi. This is the general equation of SHM, correct?
Yes.
Now we can very clearly see that at t is equal to 0, value of x is 0. So it is what kind of motion? This one, which we just wrote, which we just understood, that whenever the particle starts its motion from x is equal to 0, its equation is given as x is equal to a sine omega t. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
So this is the equation. Now, all we have to do is just set that equation. So phi will definitely be 0. If not, if you're not satisfied, what can we do? We can simply substitute and see. How will we substitute? We will substitute this point. We have,
X equals to
right, we have x is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. In order to find out what phi is, I am going to write at x is equal to 0, t is 0. So here 0, a sine 0 plus phi, I will get sine phi is 0, and therefore phi is equal to 0. Correct? Therefore, now
Yes,
I
sir.
can set the equation as x is equal to a sine omega t. Phi is 0. Correct? This is our new equation. Now what should we do? Can we find out a? What is a? Maximum value of x, right?
5.
What is the maximum value of x? 5. So a is equal to 5. How can you find out omega, Atul? Omega.
Omega is 2 pi by t, so
Very
the time
good.
period is 4.
how did you find out what is time period? Because after every 4 seconds, the particle is repeating its pattern, right? Because it's a periodic motion. So we can see that time in which it is completing its one oscillation, right? That is nothing but t is equal to 4 seconds. So this will be called as nothing but time period, right?
Yes, sir.
So we will have time period t given as 4. Therefore, x is equal to 5 sine 2 pi by 4 into t. Correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we have
Yes.
got displacement with time. When you differentiate it, you will get velocity with time. Correct? And when you differentiate it further, you will get acceleration with time. Right? Right? Now, when you have the relationship between x and t, that is a sine graph. So the relationship between v and t
Cos.
here,
Cos graph.
cos graph. Very good. Very good, Atul. So we have this as the equation. We'll have v is equal to 5 pi by 2 into sine, cos pi by 2. How did I do it, Atul? Can you tell the class? How did I differentiate? Do we know how do we differentiate?
Yes, the differentiation of sine is cos
Yes.
theta. So
And
cos
this was omega value, right? So here we multiply omega with a.
Cos.
Give us a omega, right? A omega cos omega.
2 pi.
Correct? Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Absolutely correct, Atul. So this is how we have understood the concept of finding out displacement, then velocity, and thereby acceleration, and so on. So let's continue from here in tomorrow's class. And tomorrow, more importantly, we will read further concepts, right? And give a kind of completion to this so that we can start off with waves, right? The second part. So, right, tomorrow, let's continue with this understanding. I will request all of you to please revise all of this, right? Revise all of this, what we have read today. It is going to be very fundamental knowledge, right? And this you might or might not find at different places. So please make sure that you are very thorough with this so that in tomorrow's upcoming class, we will read beyond this, right? Are we clear, everyone? Is everyone clear with whatever we have discussed today? If yes, please raise hands, class. Yes, class. If we are clear with whatever we have read today, please raise hand. Yes. Okay, great. So let us meet tomorrow, class. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the session. And let us start off tomorrow, early morning, 6:30, and continue with the session, right? Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thank you.